Before starting the operation, check carefully that the drums are fixed and that there are no loose blade on them. Check the condition of the knives, including sharpening. Make sure the sharpener stone is in good condition. Make sure the cardan shaft is properly locked in the machine shaft, and in the power takeoff of the tractor. Check that there are no leaks in the hydraulic hoses of the machine components. Preventive test. Before starting to work, perform a preventive test as follows. Lift and lock the outlet chute. Turn on the tractor. Raise the machine to the desired cutting height, respecting the maximum allowable angle for the cardan shaft, 15 degrees. Turn the tractor power takeoff slowly, wait for the system to fully run, and then slowly accelerate the tractor until it reaches 540 revolutions per minute on the PTO shaft. Observe the operation of the machine for a few seconds. Rotate the chute in order to position it in the direction of the silage transport truck. Adjust the direction of the jet, with the help of the deflector. Once these procedures have been completed, the machine is ready for harvesting. Choose a flat location to uncouple the machine from the tractor. Lower the machine support stand. Set the parking brake, lower the machine to the ground, and finally, turn off the tractor. Before disconnecting the hoses, it is necessary to relieve the system pressure. Quickly disconnect hoses for minimal oil loss, then replace protective caps on hose couplings and tractor valves. Remove the safety chains and uncouple the cardan shaft. Start uncoupling the machine from the third point of the tractor. Then uncouple the hydraulic arms, right and left. Machine cleaning, unblocking. In case of blocking of harvester, unblock the feeding drums using the reverse key tool, supplied with the machine. To access the reverse key tool, open the toolbox, located on the machine arm. Remove the reverse key tool, that is bolted into the tractor coupling structure. Remove bolt E from the gearbox end axle protection cover. Fit the reverse key tool G to the gearbox shaft end. Using your hands, turn the reverse key tool in the counterclockwise direction. The feeding drums will rotate in the opposite direction to the working direction, expelling, throwing out, accumulated material into the platform. Rotate until all material is removed. General recommendations. Never operate the machine for extended periods indoors and without ventilation. The carbon monoxide expelled by the exhaust smoke from the tractor is highly toxic. Keep the maintenance area clean. Wet or oily floors are slippery and dangerous. Always park the machine in a flat location. Use tools in good condition when performing any service on the machine. When replacing bolts and nuts, use the same specification as the original. Always use the proper torque as specified in the torque chart in this manual. Before starting a hydraulic repair, relieve pressure on the system. Periodically tighten all fastening nuts and bolts, every 50 hours. When completing a maintenance procedure, make sure all safety guards are installed before operating the machine. The use of personal protective equipment, PPE, is mandatory during maintenance services on the machine. After the first 50 continuous working hours, it is essential to retighten all the fastening bolts on the machine. For a better view of the periodic maintenance table, see Machine Instruction Manual. How to articulate the gathering platform. The platform articulation allows access to internal components such as counter knives, smooth drum scraper, etc., facilitating adjustments and maintenance services. To articulate the platform, proceed as follows. Initially, lift the machine through the tractor hydraulics to a height of 10 cm from the ground, which will facilitate the articulation of the platform. Remove the sharpener cover by removing the fixing bolt. Remove the 3 bolts and the protective cover. Loosen the bolt of the tensioner C, and loosen the chain. Remove the bolts from the sprockets and remove them along with the chain. Remove the 2 cutting gears J. Remove the bottom of the transmission compartment. Remove the 2 bolts L. Remove the joint M. Loosen the tensioner and remove pin P. Carefully articulate the platform to the side. Uncoupling the JF1000 AT header. For some maintenance operations, uncoupling the header will be recommended. To do so, follow the steps below. Remove the bolt and the sharpener cover. Remove the bolts and the cover. Loosen the chain tensioner. Remove the bolts from the sprockets. Remove the sprockets and the chain. Pull out the 2 cutting gears and remove the bottom of the transmission housing. Loosen the bolts and remove the bender. Loosen the bolts and remove the aligners. Loosen the 4 bolts and remove the right side access cover. Repeat the procedure on the left side, loosening the 4 bolts and removing the side cover. With the aid of a hydraulic winch, connect the chain to the header lifting points. Raise the header to a height where a support stand can be placed at the indicated point. Loosen T-bolt, left side. Loosen and remove bolt, A. Repeat the procedure loosening the right-hand side T-bolt. Repeat the procedure loosening the right-hand side T-bolt. Loosen and remove bolt, B. For safety, before uncoupling the header, place a support stand below the gearbox, in order to prevent the machine from tipping backwards. Through the side access, loosen the left inner bolt that secures the header to the harvester. Repeat the operation, removing the right inner bolt that secures the header to the harvester. With the aid of the hydraulic winch, lift and move the head in the opposite direction to the harvester, uncoupling it from the machine. Coupling the JF1000 AT header. Insert the left and right inner bolts to attach and secure the header to the harvester. Important: check that there is no step between the header and the harvester, thus indicating a perfect fit. After the fit, tighten the internal bolts on the right and left sides of the header. Remove the support stand and place it under the header, as a form of safety, to fix the other bolts. Insert and tighten bolt, B. Then retighten the T-bolt, right side. Repeat the procedure on the other side, inserting and tightening bolt, A. Retighten T-bolt, left side. Once the coupling is complete, lower the header with the aid of the hydraulic winch. Sharpening the rotor knives. The sharpener incorporated into the harvester makes it possible to sharpen all the knives together, at the harvest site. Sharp knives consume less tractor power to chop the plants, reduce fuel consumption, and ensure the best cut quality. Remove the bolt and the sharpener cover. Remove the 3 bolts and the protective cover. Loosen the chain tensioner. Remove the bolts from the sprockets. Remove the sprockets and the chain. Remove the driving cut size gear. Replace the cover before starting to sharpen. Position yourself beside the machine, using the PPEs required to perform this operation. Remove the sharpener rod T, located in the harvester toolbox. Screw the rod into the sharpener. Note that when the rod is threaded all the way in, it stops the stone's movement. Therefore, do not thread all the way, leaving a half-turn clearance to allow the stone to move. Turn on the tractor and activate the power takeoff until it reaches the working speed, 540 revolutions per minute in the PTO shaft. Carefully turn the adjusting nut F, to bring the stone closer to the knives, until the sparks begin. Using the rod, move the sharpener to the end of the tracks. Take a quick break and pull the sharpener back to the start of the tracks. Repeat the back and forth movement of the sharpener, making quick pauses at the beginning and end of the movement. Repeat the back and forth movement 4 times. Repeat this procedure until it stops sparking the rotor. Turn the nut back and move the stone away from the knives. After sharpening, turn off the tractor and remove the key from the ignition. Check if the knives have been sharpened completely. Remove the rod T from the sharpener. Put away rod T in the toolbox. Replace the cut size gear and drive sprocket. Replace the drive chain with sprocket. Replace and tighten their respective bolts and finally tighten the chain. Replace the cover and fix it with the 3 bolts. Replace the sharpener cover and retighten its fixing bolt. In order to access the counter knife, It is first necessary to articulate the platform, proceeding as described in the previous chapter, 48 minutes e 50 seconds. Remove the 3 bolts N. Remove the scraper. Remove the 2 bolts P. Remove the counter knife M, and change the side, remembering that it has 4 lives. If all sides are already worn, replace it with a new one. To adjust the counter knife at this time, insert and move it, leaving a maximum clearance of 0.5 mm between the knives and the counter knife. Fix the counter knife again, by retightening the 2 bolts. Remove the 2 bolts, A, and open the rotor cover. With your hands, turn the rotor in the opposite direction to the working direction, for at least 1 complete turn, making sure that none of the knives hit the counter knife. Close the rotor cover by retightening its bolts. To adjust the scraper, replace it and leave it as far forward as possible, keeping its bolts still loose. Return the platform to the working position. When you return it, the scraper will be moved to the correct working position. Keep it in this position. Manually rotate the drums to confirm the scraper setting. Pivot the platform sideways again and definitively tighten the 3 scraper bolts. Finally, return the platform to the working position and replace the previously disassembled items. In previous models, S3 and previous, the only way to adjust the knife with the counter knife is by adjusting the rotor, bringing it closer to the counter knife as shown below. For adjustment through the rotor, first remove the knife that is in the direction of the rotor adjustment bolt. Using a wrench, loosen the 2 bolts that secure the rotor to the shaft. Tighten the front bolt of the rotor in order to move it towards the counter knife. Then tighten the back bolt to secure the rotor. With your hands, rotate the rotor 1 full turn, making sure none of the knives touch the counter knife. After adjustment, lock the rotor again to replace the knife. Replace the knife, tightening its fastening bolts on the rotor. Adjust the knife with the counter knife always after sharpening or at least once a day.